Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up for Monday, the 23rd of October, 2023. Well, Hamas is playing its hand. You know, it took all those hostages for a reason. Now it's ransom time. So they've released a total of two, I believe it was Friday or Saturday, two more today. And now they're offering up, I use the word up to 50, if Israel gives in on their demands of fuel, medicine, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what Israel does with that. We are now reading in the New York Times, literally right now, the story just broke, if you go online, that the Biden administration doesn't have faith that Israel can achieve its goal by invading Gaza. So if you just go to my financial market update, which was 15 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, I had said how world opinion of Israel is about to change. And the reason it's going to change is because countries that have hostages are going to themselves, I want my hostages. We can save lives, don't go in and kill. At the same time, the airwaves are every day now full of Palestinian people, not the Hamas, the Palestinian people carrying children, looking at bodies there, and you look at the rubble, it looks like a Terminator movie. And at some point, people start saying enough is enough. And this is what Israel's facing. World opinion is turning on them quickly. The more bombings, the more deaths. At what point? And if they stop, they still have Hamas right on their doorstep who says this exact thing, maybe even better executed, because Hamas did one heck of an execution, caught everybody off guard. Again, I don't know. I don't know how it turns itself out. I am not that good. I know we're sending some generals to oversee the situation there and give us an opinion. And the U.S. does hold sway. Don't just think Israel can go do things on their own. If the U.S. says, no, we're giving you this money, we're doing that. While they say one thing to us, I believe there's another thing behind a closed door. They're not going to involve themselves with the integrity of them, but the pressure will be there, you can imagine. I don't know. I don't know what happens. But I know that coming in today, when you didn't see an invasion take place, I would have bet anything gold is going to be down, the oil market will be down. I didn't know what the stock market would do one way or the other. I was surprised to see how fast the 10-year note went to 5% and reversed course. But of course, part of that was due to a news report that as it got over that 5% level, suddenly it came out that Bill Ackman of Pershing Square had liquidated his good call. He was calling for 5%. I think he got into the market around 4.5 or so, that my memory serves me. He made a half point like that, and now he says he doesn't know what it's worth right here. And after, I guess, he cleared his position out, he came out and said he's out. He can't just say that and not do it because the SEC wouldn't look at certain things. So the odds are he took most of his position off at that point in time and can live with that. Great trade. As you can see how the markets are sort of hanging here. Oil just so right now. This is a big week for earnings in Meta. You've got Amazon this week coming out. So I figured an Alphabet. So I said to myself, hey, why don't we go take a look at Meta? How's this chart looking right now? And it's earnings time. So we got to see just how these are going to play out. Just visually looking at it, I can see a pattern of lower highs and lower lows. When I put on the swing line, it just shows it to you as these lines connect with themselves. Where's the battle? Remember how often I tell you when a market is over this red line, the 18-day average, it'll fall back there to fight a battle. If it's under it by a lot, like it did this one time, it'll come back and fight its battle. You can do this almost over and over, and you see this. So this is your battleground. If the market decides it wants to head down from here, the next stop could be 298.38. It ties in with the lower black line, the lower Bollinger Band. That'll be up a little bit in the morning. There's nothing on this chart at this point that turns bullish. Nothing. Even if you went straight up through 325.94, you'd have a lower and low and a higher high. So the bears have control of the market in terms of ease of keeping something going. That's their battleground. You'll have an idea that the market might try to get down here should you take out the lows of Friday. That would be another wave of lower highs, lower lows, and you still have momentum pointing down. Automakers, well, Rivian had a big turnaround, not sure why. Fisker got itself into trouble today. It's lowering the price of some of its lower-end cars. Obviously, investors will be concerned about that because most of these companies don't make a penny. And when they start cutting the price of the cars, they're making less than a penny. It gets even worse. You have here a higher high and lower low. Could the battleground be this 200-day average? It could be. But there's something still very bearish developing. If you take a look at the slow stochastics, both numbers were under 20. Both numbers were under 20 yesterday and the day before. Therefore, I think what the pros are going to do is they're going to look at this rally and probably try to sell into it in the morning. See what they can get up in this area and what they can do if the market drops back. I think they'll blow out, get out, whatever you want to call it, of their shorts if the red line closes over 21. In UGA, all you did is rally back to a resistance point. Right here, the 100-day average. Support's back here. You're not trending. You have a lower low, higher high. Gasoline is a rough son of a gun to trade right now. It's not a trend market. And XLF is a rough one. Look at how this market came and fell apart. This could be called a bull trap. You have this big rally, and all of a sudden you just pull the wits out of it. It just came apart, going from 33.94 to 31.97. It took an awful long time to work it up there. It took half that amount of time to fall. In the industrial sector, your momentum is down, but getting oversold. You're into support at the lower band. This is not where I think the pros are going to press the short side. The industrial sector is still weak. We're going to get a lot more data this week on a lot of industry, month-end data coming at you, so you want to be on top of all the data coming out starting now. In AI, C3, A1, isn't that a long name? You're caught between the upper band and the lower band. It's a trading affair, my friends. It's not a trending affair right now. It's doing one of these on you. The general bias is down as you're underneath the 200-day average, but it's very difficult to get and stay under Bollinger Bands. I think the pros are covering shorts, and I think they'll consider putting them back out on each challenge of the 18-day average. And I think they'd say if you close over the upper band, they don't want to be short anymore, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking they're going to do. The consumer. Do they have any money left? I mean, if you're reading the papers as I do, car loans through the roof in terms of defaults. Mortgages, if people didn't refinance, there's problems there. Rents are very expensive. They're not falling at this point. You're not going to build a lot more properties, spec properties coming on at this point in time. Consumers going to have some issues here, and you're seeing it. All right. Are we trending, though? We are not. Are we making new lows? We absolutely are. A difficult market, a vertical drop that just the bottom fell out of this market. These are not easy markets right now. I've been saying that for a week or two. XHB, lower highs, lower lows, but oversold. No edge in this. By the way, let me come back there with you. Let me see if I can come back just this way. Got to be careful if the 18-day average is going to start getting under that, the 200. That's something you want to keep your eye on. You're not there yet. In the energy sector, still bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if the pros are nibbling on the long side here. To break this chart pattern, you got to get right under here, under the 85.55 level. Barring that, you still have the door open for 93.18, but it is overbought. I don't like when momentum is pointing down and one of the numbers has still got a 7 on it. I tell my traders not to be a buyer in overbought markets. In GLD, I still like the long side. Nothing has been resolved in the Middle East, so I still like what I'm seeing there. And with the dollar falling, you had a little bit of support in that today. When we look at SLV, no. This is where pros come out on Friday of everything. The whole shoot and caboodle. You're overbought, you're up there. You'll say, well, how do you know? I don't know. But that's what they should be doing. I mean, you're just saying it's going to go because of what? as a technician, take the name off it. Why would you buy into the 100-day average 200 in the upper Bollinger Band in an overbought market? It makes no sense, not to me at least. And in the copper, this is a good area to be covering some shorts, not an area to deploy new shorts. Why? Oversold, coming down, and we've got the People's Congress going in China. We don't know what's going to be said between now and the next couple of days. Here's what we do know. They today announced they're going to put in tomorrow, on Tuesday, which I guess it's there right now, $137 billion into the economy. I was hoping it would be $1.37 trillion. That would spur them along. This is a little bit shy of what they had to do, so it's not picking up the copper. On TLT, short covering, oversold condition into a Bollinger Band. Should you be surprised? Do you think I am? I hope you say no. Same in BND. It was the same picture. Last, the dollar index did surprise me. The market's probably pulling money out because Israel's stymied here. And people wanted to own it during the invasion process. That invasion process is on hold. I don't know what Israel does or doesn't do. They have some serious decisions to make. They cannot indefinitely keep their 300,000 plus soldiers there. They can't indefinitely just keep bombing parts of Gaza. What is the next step? And that's why the U.S. is questioning what's the feasibility of whatever that step is. It's a real dilemma. In FXE, you're up to the upper band. You buy an upper Bollinger Band when you're overbought. You can. I would tell my clients not to. So you put it together, you come up with game plans, and my game plan for you is the free offerings on our website. And we have about 15 of them. They look like this. You click. We've built our own cart, so you can go in there and choose what you want. It's at iraepstein.com. under free offers, or just move your cursor right to the top here at any point. You'll see an icon, give it a click, and away you go. So it's more of the same, unfortunately. Let's see where it all goes. The good news is a lot of earnings this week for the big boys. Let's see who comes out with stellar performance. I'm Ira. See you in the morning.